How many Merrie Monarchs have you been in?
Not that many,
Not
to
that
tell you
many.
the truth.
Okay. What
So
was the
we
last
went
one?
from the last one was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, we were supposed to go again in 2020, but then COVID hit.
COVID.
So we're gonna go back next year
Ooh,
because
that's
it's
awesome.
my 50th year of teaching.
Okay, awesome.
So
I'm excited for that.
we're gonna celebrate it with that. So it'll be, you know, like coming round the mountain
Mhm.
in a way, because by that time I'll be 76, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna walk on that stage at 86 with a cane or a wheelchair or anything. No, if I can't get up on that stage, I'm not gonna go.
Mhm.
So
So this is probably the last one.
maybe I would say, you know, you never can tell. If I still look like and can walk like I do at 75 or 76 when I get there, then things might change. But for the most part, I'll be in Paris.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how many Miss Aloha hulas have you produced?
None.
Oh, you're the guy.
Although there have been boys in my halau who wanted to enter Miss Hula.
I answered my own question. But since I brought that up, how come there's no Mr. Aloha Hula? Why?
You know, you'd have to ask them. I don't know. They never had one. Back from, because Merrie Monarch started before we even went. You know, it started in I want to say in the 60s, but it could have been in the late 50s. And back then it was, you know, very home style, kind of backyardy. And it wasn't like a big competition. And then it is what it is now.
Wasn't hula never meant to be a competition?
You know, I never liked the idea of competition. And but I get it, and I know why people do it. Besides the fact that it helps, you know, you help make it important, spread the word, help it live,
boost the economy of Hilo. It's the biggest thing in Hilo every year.
And that's the thing about it. I love that it's in Hilo. You know, people used to talk about bringing it to Honolulu, but that's not the point. The point is that Hilo did something really good for Hilo, and they did it in a way that that was Hilo, and I always thought should stay Hilo. You know, when people talk about Hilo, you can't talk about Hilo without mentioning the rain. Or either the rain or the volcano, you know, and I love both of those. And I think that that's what makes Hilo Hilo, and that's why it makes it so important, you know, because I still rather go to Hilo than Kona. And that's not that I don't love Kona.
Yep.
But I mean,
favorite podcast guest of all time, Hilo over Kona. Let's go.
Yeah, because and Hilo to me is still more local. Than Kona is, because you know Kona is just right.
And we got all the hotels.
Itself. Yeah,
we don't have a building higher than the coconut tree in Hilo.
Yeah, so I love that about Hilo, and I just like the fact that Merrie Monarch is in Hilo. I just you know, another thing about that too is television. It's like putting lights in the stadium for baseball or football. You know, it changed the whole dichotomy of the game, the fun of it, and now everything has to be strictly, you know, out by like these many minutes for this, and then you have to take a break and and it takes away from what I think is the movement first of all, and then the importance of it, as well as the idea of it competing, because I like the idea of it. We're just sharing what we do. I love that part, you know. Sharing sometimes kind of scares me, that word, because there are pros to it and there are cons to it. And you never know where anybody's coming from. And for the most part, you know, it is what it is.
Well, since we're on the topic, and we'll go back to the music later. Recently, this past Merrie Monarch, because it's getting so big now, right? And with social media, you have a lot of video clips being shared. Then that leads to comment sections, right? And a lot of people like to share their thoughts and opinions in the comments. Which,
Oh, they do.
back in the day, it was
They really
just
do.
word of mouth,
Right.
gossip here and
Yeah.
there. But now it's just open to the public.
Right.
And there's a lot of controversy now because of like how they say like the same halal wins all the time. How, oh no, this Miss Aloha should have won. She was better than this one. Da, 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 da. So how do you feel about all of that? Do
I
you
think it's there's no way to avoid it. Everybody thinks their own way, and you cannot please everybody. And I'm sure that if your person or your halal didn't win, it's really nice to have those other people who say to you, it doesn't matter. If you felt good and your kids felt good dancing, then find your victory in that. And
Mhm.
and I learned that when we lost,
Mhm.
and so there's no way you can stop that. What I do find interesting though is, and I don't like it at all, is when the judges are attacked.
Mm.
Uh, it's wonderful to have opinions. Everybody has an opinion, and that's just the way it is. But if you want to go play in somebody's park and they give you the rules that you have to follow before you enter the park, and you sign the paper saying you understand that, then I think there therein is the pudding. There's your proof.
Can't
The
grumble.
pudding. Yeah, that for 7 minutes
Mhm.
you were putting everything that you believe in as far as this art form on stage. And these 7 people are going to decide whether they like it or not, not whether you like it or not,
Mhm.
or not whether the audience likes it or not, but whether they like it.
Mhm.
And you and go you and sign the pala pala already. You know what's going on with the game. If it's your first time, then maybe you don't. But if you know already, you know,
Mhm.
I'm just saying, you just got to play in their field and
Yeah.
understand that you signed the paper.